Good evening, y'all. This is David, the Georgia photographer, and Aaron of Aaron's Life. He's a photographer in Indiana, if you've ever joined in our stream before. He's the brains behind this whole complicated operation. I really appreciate everything he does. I'm playing the whole window game because you're right over there, Aaron.
Oh, well, yeah, I had to turn
But
my head aside.
tonight's got a lot on the agenda. I've got my notes. We've got a bunch of photos to go over. You guys turned in some incredible portraits. It's pretty impressive, I got to admit. I got some news to go over. Next month's, technically it is next month's challenge. I already have that figured out this time, not like last week where I straight dropped the ball. And let's see here. Some other stuff I want to go over. So, what have you been doing, Aaron, with your time well spent in the last couple of days?
Work, school, Mother Nature around, the sun. I was going to get much of any. Last few nights. Okay, so last night was been 3 years since I had a night like that.
That was off the chain. If you haven't seen his photos yet, did you put them on the gathering or just on your wall? Yeah. If you haven't seen them yet, when he drops them in there, he got some insane lightning photos last night. And it's not like 2, it's like 15 of them.
12, and I've got another one that I'm going to do a composite of. Got to relearn.
I got to tell good evening to Phil.
Evening there, Mr. Phil.
Good evening. Yeah. Good to see everybody in. Cue the Jeopardy theme song.
Better not. We'll get a copyright violation.
Ooh, yeah, get a copyright strike. We ain't been down that street before. Oh, Lord. Okay. I got to talk about the big news in the whole photography community. Everybody's talked about it last week, made 4,712 videos on it. Dude, the deal about Olympus. I got my personal opinion on it based on being in the manufacturing industry for most of my adult life. And I wanted to give my perspective on it as opposed to everybody speculating about how they're going under and they're gone or this and that. Just to put it bluntly, they're not going anywhere. There's a huge factory in Japan that currently says Olympus on the outside. They'll take that sign off of the outside of that building and they're going to put JIP in its place. And they're going to keep making cameras. JIP didn't buy the Olympus camera consumer division because it was losing money. They bought it because they think they can make it earn money. So there'll probably be some restructuring, and you'll probably see some cameras disappear from the lineup that are probably not profitable, like that big pro grade, looks like a D4 Nikon version. Was it their EM1X, I think? That one will probably disappear if I had to guess. And they'll probably focus on the street photography people because if you haven't noticed it, the Olympus brand is incredibly prolific throughout Asia, down through Oceania. That whole region of the planet loves Olympus cameras. I don't think Olympus is going anywhere. What do you think, Aaron?
I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, they can, JIP can be, trying to like wrap it down and incorporate got in there.
Mm-hmm.
They occupied, Germany. Also, I don't know. It could be something, down that line. They're going to take that tech and make it their own, or a new name, or they can. I don't know. speculative right now. It's anything can happen.
Yeah. See, I base my observation on General Electric. When I worked at GE, they had just bought out the first time I got hired. They had just bought out another manufacturing facility called Roper Corporation that made appliances for the home and lawn and garden equipment, and they were in a few other things. But they bought Roper Corporation and absorbed all of that manufacturing into the GE appliance division and lawn and garden division. And like you said, they scuttled lawn and garden. They got rid of the lawnmowers and all that jazz, and they kept the appliance stuff. And then here just a year or so ago, I'm looking at Discord. All right. You're not.
I'm setting stuff up, man.
Okay.
Don't mind Discord.
I just things were changing right over there on that screen.
Your camera and be happy.
Okay. Woo! They got to put up some blinders like this. but then literally last year, I believe it was last year, I'm pretty sure, GE sold their entire appliance division to a company in China called Haier, Haier. And they even sold the GE logo to the appliance division to Haier. So you'll still see GE stoves that have been built since this merger or buyout. Excuse me, wrong language. They're the exact same stoves they were 2 years ago. Nothing's changed. The people haven't changed. The infrastructure hasn't changed. The metal they use, nothing's changed except for the name on the outside sign. That's the only real difference you're seeing, and where the money goes, what checking account number the money goes into when they get paid by Home Depot or whoever. But it's business as usual at GE. Of course, they did some restructuring in management and things like that. But when I went over there at the end of last year to renew my contractor credentials, it was the same people. It's doing the same jobs. They didn't change out the staff or anything. It's the exact same operation, and they're still building stoves as fast as they can. So that's what made me think that's what's going to happen here. You're going to see them come in, and they're probably going to try and clean up the manufacturing to where they can make some cameras economical to where they can earn a profit from them, and they're going to start putting those out. What's his name? Darren Miles did a video about that, but it was before the whole buyout thing happened. He put this video out probably a month ago, and he talks about the Olympus pen. He's talking about cameras that he has that he likes but have issues, and he bought that little Olympus pen, and he says he loved the camera except it's got a few issues, and he goes over them. And he actually come out and said if Olympus would straighten out the problems that he's announced, he said he's confident they'd sell just literally truckloads of those cameras to these street photographer types, because he said people just love the handling of the camera. It's just that it's got a few detractors that make it difficult to operate. And if you just fix that, so maybe people at JIP or whatever their name is will listen to the feedback from the community at large. Maybe they'll implement those ideas, and Olympus brand cameras will actually turn into something people will want.
It was like, hey, get around your elbow and down a country mile and go past the blurs and the color and whatnot, just ISO.
Yeah, that was one of the things he complained about, was that it wasn't intuitive to use.
Not intuitive. I mean, that was like we went back out after they were playing with the. Got done playing with. Got our. Okay, let's go play. Yeah, I still have my first. I mean it. Camera.
Yeah.
Ways. In fact, I recorded videos on.
Interesting. Well, I mean, back in January when I was out in Oregon for Sierra's Climbing Nationals, one of her friends actually has an early Olympus pen film camera. And it's one of the ones that has the ring flash built into the lens. And she loves it. She loves the fact that it was small, even though she's shooting film on it. She's actually kind of into the film thing. but she liked the form factor and how simple it was to use. There was only like you controlled f-stop and I think it might have had focus. I don't remember. It's very small. The lens was very shallow. I remember she would mess with the f-stop to control light. She was metering the light with the f-stop, and that was about it. And she loved it. Took snapshots the whole weekend with it. So yeah, if they could make it to where people liked using them.
Yeah,
Joy says her cousin. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I've been meaning to get my hands on some, or at least, because is it? I mean, that was a crop that was like bigger than it wasn't. It was
Yeah.
5mm. Exactly what it was, but I want to get my how it works. You know what? Worst, I'll throw it on the J5 and see how it works.
Yeah, really. It's like it's almost like 16mm film size. It was an odd size. Which the one that this other girl had, it shot just standard 35mm roll film. So it must have been a slightly newer liquidator. Cuban Rum says he's heard that JIT is a liquidator and they'll sell the bits and pieces of Olympus until they make up the debt. Okay, I'm assuming. Interesting. Probably sell a bunch of it to China. Yeah. Somebody said they should sell the image stabilization to Sony. If you get Olympus stabilization in a Sony camera, somebody said that'd be a market winner right there. The only thing holding me back from shooting Sony cameras regular, because I had an A7 II, and the camera itself was fun to use. It took very good photos. The menu system is atrocious. You got what, 30 options across the top, and each one of them drops down into 20 a piece. And Lord, and they're not really in any kind of rhyme or reason. It's just terrible menu system. It's frustrating. It was very frustrating trying to find something in the menus on a Sony camera. Heather says Aaron's audio is struggling, but it sounds good in my ear, so I don't know what's wrong there.
Noise gate.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're coming in a few dB under me. I see it on the meter now. Interesting.
Yeah, I guess Aaron Watson get on. Yep. See.
Yeah. It doesn't take much, does it? Yeah, Gary pointed it out too. Okay. Well, I just wanted to chat about that for a minute. I was curious what y'all thought. I got something I want to do here because Phil did it last week, and I've been trying to figure out how to do this. And when Phil done it on his stream, it was like, why didn't I think of that? That was too easy. And what that is I want to thank the people who have sponsored this channel in one way or the other. I've done it in videos here and there, but I just can't seem to like get it cohesively figured out how to do it. But like Tech Assist sent me basically 15 British pounds. He said, go get coffee on me. I really appreciate that. Someone named, I don't even know who this is. They never reached out to me. The money just appeared in the PayPal account. I don't remember how much it was, but someone named Patricia Blyler, thank you for your support of the channel. The very first person to ever send me money through the PayPal link was a gentleman goes by the name AP Mulder. And he sent me $5, and I really appreciate that. I really do. You know, it matters. John Van Veen sent me a lens. And don't think I ain't forgot that. I did make the video. And I'm going to probably do what you said and put just a little bit of super glue. I'm going to see if I can't get me a needle oiler, because what I don't want to do is stain up that ring, because the exterior appearance of the lens is great. I just don't want to jack it. So but I am going to try and glue down that aperture band and see if I can get that to where it don't slip. I do like shooting with the lens, by the way. It's a lot of fun. And then Bass Angler sent me a box full of widgets one time that included a lens hood for my 28mm AIS lens. I had never seen them. A metal Nikon lens hood that fits the 28mm. And it's on the lens now, and I really appreciate that. So I wanted to thank all you guys for supporting the channel, because that's a big deal to me. And when Phil did it last week, it just was like, why, that was too easy. Why didn't I think of that? But I didn't. So I really appreciate it. Let's see. Okay. I don't know how wet you guys have been, but it's been raining here every afternoon for about 2 hours. I have went and shot videos. Wednesday, I went Friday a little bit, Saturday, Sunday I went some and shot some straight with Phil and Heather. And every day it has rained. I've had to sit in the truck or wait it out in a coffee shop or something. It's like the heat showers are here. They're passing through. Are they doing that up there where you are in Indiana?
No, we get waves that come out. Look at that. I think my audio is going to hold up now. I'll keep tweaking it and see if it does it. But no, you can usually see it. I mean, some of them have been popping up a little bit, but mainly I can see them coming, an hour or two away. There's enough humidity. Once they get rolling, though, the stuff will pop up, as it's coming around. But for the most part, you can see it coming.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because you don't have the mountains that occlude the view.
We don't have anything that occludes anything around here. Maybe corn. I like here. Starting after the 4th, I've got like a little audio step ladder, or it's me reading and talking at the same time. I got an aluminum step ladder that I carry in the back of the car, just so like when I'm shooting landscapes or something in Indiana, sometimes there'll be 8-9 foot of corn, kind of blocking my view. So I'll
you got to get above
pull
that.
out a ladder just to get up and shoot above the corn, And sometimes I've stood up on top of the car, but need to change that rack out and put something a little bit more, a little bigger on there.
RD's asking, are you using any kind of triggers to trigger them photos?
No, I don't like using triggers, and I'll tell you why. Something I found out about 3 years ago is if you do long exposures, and it's always you got to dial it in a little bit, because, depending on the distance where the lightning is, and, how open everything is, and how much of the light's refracting through the clouds, you have to dial it in. But you also have to dial in your time based on your lightning strike frequency. And if you get a lot of cloud cover and not much, light pollution, you can run that thing 25, 30 seconds. Most of the ones I took last night were 25-second long exposures.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's because the frequency wasn't really fast on it. So, and there wasn't much light pollution out there. So, I mean, I could run it 25 seconds without even going into bulb mode. No problem.
Okay.
The only problem you have is if you start running at 25 seconds and it's a fast moving storm, any sort of light up there in the clouds, you'll either get smeary clouds, or you'll get it'll look like multiple exposures of the clouds.
Oh, yeah. So the cloud. Yeah. I see your point.
It's a little balancing act with, shutter and ISO and aperture.
Yeah. When I was doing it here on the porch, and I had a few storms that I actually set up for with the D7000, and I literally just had a cable release, what do you call them, intervalometer. It's got the shutter button on it, and it's a little cord that screws onto the camera. And I would just sit in a chair, and I'd open the shutter in bulb mode and just sit there with it. And then the moment there was a flash, I'd let off and I'd hold down the button again. And I just sat there like that. So it was, and like you're using the lightning to expose the scene is what you're doing. Yeah. Or at least that's what I was doing.
Well, it's like RD saying it was dark out for 25. No, actually, it's not. You get a lot of black frames out of the deal. But what happens is you're exposing for the lightning shot. And that's where your first couple ones you get, you're kind of dialing it in there, but you're leaving it open for that window, but your exposure is set, for your depth of field, whatever you got set up, you're set up for that shot of that bolt of lightning when it hits. And that's so the ISO, so it doesn't blow out the image if it's a really big one or a close one.
Right.
It's like I said, it's a balancing act. It's kind of like walking a tightrope and fishing at the same time with deadly electricity.
Yeah, while carrying a hot drop cord.
Yeah, but one of the cool things I found out like 3 years ago that made me decide I did not want to do triggers was all those frames. So like, you get a bunch of black frames, but you also get a lot of frames that don't really have lightning in them, but the clouds are illuminated. So what you do is you take all those frames and you stitch them together, and you got a time lapse.
Oh, yeah.
So I mean, yesterday a friend of mine who posted something about happy, or Shirley, she posted a happy camera day or National Camera Day or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went through Lightroom, and I looked. I took 542 shots last night on 2 cameras.
542 frames. Yeah, that'll take a few minutes to process.
I went through 3.5 batteries last night too.
Woo! Yeah, you was on it. See here. I'm trying to remember. I took almost 200 frames Sunday with Phil and Heather, like 190 something. But what I'm doing is I'm running high speed shutter, so I'm trying to catch a moment. So I would take a bunch of dead frames on both sides of the actual one I want, and it, doing like motion blur tracking of cars and bicycles and stuff, and just multiple, firing multiples and portraits, just to make sure you got the one you want and things. And so when I got done, I probably had 25 or 30 of photos that I wanted, but took nearly 200 to get them.
Look, I took 500 and got what, 12?
Yeah, that you shared.
Yeah, now there's another one I'll probably post that's not a lightning, it's just cloud porn. It's big old fluffy clouds. And then there's that composite, which will be like I think it's like a 4 or 5 shot composite that I'll put together. If I can get it if I can get all the different layers to blend right, it should be an interesting photo.
Interesting, yeah.
Sure. Okay, so RD, I never shoot, you doing lightning, I never shoot anything wider than 5 or 5.6. So it's
I was gonna say I try to shoot at f8 or f11 if I can stand it, and run my ISO up to compensate. I'll try to run 3200 ISO.
God no, we're doing lightning shots.
Yeah, but if you're running f11 to deepen the depth of field and get nice and clean, because I always had these issues with lenses that at infinity focus, they weren't really infinity, and I was too lazy to go before dark and get good focus on a distant subject.
All you gotta do is focus on a light somewhere. Like a tower beacon, a tower light, somebody's porch light.
Yeah.
Just look way out there in the distance. You will see a light, not unless you're out in the middle of nowhere. And then if that's the case, just look up at a star. If you can get a star in there, use that and, get a pin sharp. That was the biggest thing I had, when I first started doing that. I'm like going, well, how do I manual focus something in pitch black? I mean, you start getting creative real quick on learning how to, you start putting tape on your cameras, you start putting, white out on the lenses, you start doing all sorts of weird little tricks.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, I still have the piece of paper taped onto this lens that gives me focus here and then focus at close when I want to show the camera something. Yeah. Hey, most of y'all know, if you've watched my Instagram any at all, that I got my clock running, and it's in the back of the shop right now doing its running. You run it, and every day you make small adjustments to the speed of the clock until it keeps accurate time for 24 hours. That's what I'm doing now. I've got it to I think it's within about a minute and 12 hours now. So tomorrow I'll know, and I'll start making real fine adjustments. And by the end of the week, I should have it pretty well dialed. But I got another one that's actually my brother-in-law's. He's the 4th generation to own this clock. It's been handed down from his great grandfather all the way to him. And it hasn't run, from the best I can tell, probably since the mid 70s. The last service looks like it happened in 1967. And from looking at the pivot points on the axles, it looks like it hasn't been serviced since the 70s. And it had spiders, dead spiders in it. I had to like pick out dead bugs, but then I lubed it. Yeah. I don't know if y'all can see this. Let's see if I can get it to where it's focused. Oh, went the wrong way. I don't know where my, oh, it's down here. Can y'all see it? There it is. It's actually doing the whole mechanism where it strikes the hour. All I did, you can see I just hung the winding key from it too. All I did was wet it down with cleaning solvent for machine tools. That's it. I just soaked it down in cleaning solvent to loosen all the gummed up oil and grease. And that was all it took. And it took off. Even though the axle pivots are wore real heavily, and it'll probably run to a stop in a couple of days because of that. But it just surprised me at how robust them little clock movements actually are. But yeah, that one we'll get the treatment next, and it needs quite a few bushings. There's a bunch of them wore pretty bad, but that's where I am on that. But yeah, I'm going to get there. This clock was probably made around the turn of the 20th century, 1898, 1906, and that period is what I'm assuming, because I've done a bunch of dating and I've come up with a bunch of those clocks. They call them a gingerbread clock because of the way it's made. It's like a gingerbread house style. And it's a kitchen clock with an alarm, and it's kind of neat. All of it's there except for a bunch of it's broken, and I got to fix it. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting project. All right, are you ready with the photos, Aaron?
Is this a trick question?
Is
there going to be a grade on this?
Yes. Tell me when we're hot.
Working on it.
All right.
You can
but yeah,
them.
That's my alter ego currently, is clockmaker. Clock repairer currently. I'm gonna be a clockmaker before it's over with. That's the end game, is to make a clock. All right. Whenever you're ready.
Yeah, I'm working on it. Hold on.
Oh. That went in pretty smooth. All right.
I just dragged and dropped it.
What's the name?
I can't read Gary Arbuckle.
Gary sent a couple, and I really like the black and white portraiture. I'll just be honest with you. I think those are really, really interesting. I like the natural expression too. Oh, you're doing what I'm doing. You pulled the chat out. He says that's his buddy Curtis. Interesting.
Those are always the best shots when you get somebody that really isn't posing, or trying to force some expression. Those are my favorite types of pictures, when you can catch somebody off guard just enough, you know.
Right.
Yeah, usually the people that don't want their pictures taken are usually the best people to take a picture of.
Gary, yeah, I was about to say, Gary said he didn't want to have a photo made.
My friend Bill's like that. I got a bunch of friends like that, and usually when I take a picture of them, it just magic happens.
Right. That's cool. What's the next one?
More Gary Arbuckle.
I like this one too, because I like the fact that it's not just the plastic smile. You know, you don't have the, all right, smile. Let me get your say cheese. It's like an expression. You know, it's almost like expectation. That's what I like about this. You know, it's like the last one. It's like you said. It's like he says that's his wife Jean.
It's an
And
honest photo.
yes, it's a good portrait in my opinion. I really like this style of photography is what I like. It's almost that Ann Leibovitz ideology where you make the person slightly uncomfortable and then you wait for the right moment and get the photo, you know. He says her allergies were bothering her. She didn't want her picture made, did she? Yeah, you're welcome. Excellent job, dude. Who's next?
Let's see. We got a Van Veen photo here.
Ah,
Veen.
hey, okay. The black and white is the edit, and the color one I think is the original photo. Mm, there you go.
Ta-da! With the
And
power of
and
technology, here you go. You get to see both of them.
yes, and I think I like the black and white one better. What do you think?
I like the black and white one. I'm always a sucker for black and white though. I mean, second. Yeah, if he wasn't wearing that shirt, the guy could have looked like that was taken, 150 years ago. Be honest with you. Got the silver
Yeah,
plate emulsion around it. Would you do that? Would you do that in? I'm going to say that looks like either On One or Alien Skin. Oh, is he even here?
I'm not sure.
I didn't see him in chat.
Yeah.
Something looks different. I don't know. Are they the same? Are they the same shot? I mean, that's like, wow. Huh. Night and day, man. Still there, David? You got awful quiet.
Yeah, I was talking to Teresa for a minute. I still like the wet plate simulated one best though.
Yeah.
What's next?
Well, we got a kitty cat by Mike Mitchum.
Mike submitted a cat photo. There's a lot of pets in this, so don't think you're unique.
Kitty, 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 kitty. All sorts of. Yeah, we do have a bunch of animal portraits in here, and what? Okay.
It's pretty cool. What's the next one?
Tim Cotter.
All right. These are all animals. Personally, I like the ones where you can see both eyes. This one's pretty cool because the eye itself is so prominent. Yeah, isn't that awesome?
It's a good shot.
Yeah. But wait till you see the turtle. The turtle wins.
Up around to stuff. So here's another one from Tim.
Yeah. He sent 4. So there's 2 birds, a bee, and a turtle.
Okay.
But yeah, I like the bee too. That you know how hard it is to get a bug in focus in macro like that? It is tough.
A lot of people wind up using dead bugs. I read a whole article on how to preserve insects for macro photography.
Yeah, I think that's like cheating. See?
Yep. Look at that box
The
turtle.
turtle. He wins. I love that. That's just awesome.
The XT3 too on that. I bet you if you look over that left eyeball, you can almost see him taking that picture.
Yeah, you can in the reflection and in the catch
right
light.
There.
Yeah, he looks ill.
I don't see any more. Oh, there's the other picture. Duck.
Yeah, I like that. Adrian said that the turtle is high on something.
No, it's 2020. I hold no. Yeah, whatever, man. Whatever makes it work for you this year, go for it.
Right.
Good stuff, Tim. Oh, well, this is Phil.
That's Phil, isn't it?
Well, technically, it's Phil's daughter.
Yeah, but that's Phil's photo. I like this.
We're on the topic of Phil.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Get two. We got a picture
now
of Phil.
that's Heather's photo.
Oh, that's Heather's photo. Okay. We're encompassing the entire Boyd household then. Or boy, I'm gonna put my foot in my mouth right now.
Oh, Visine for the turtle is the next.
Hatch
But
Boyd, whatever.
Yeah, she shot this photo for Phil to use at work for his corporate headshot. Looks good, don't it?
Yep, that'll work.
Go back to Phil's right quick. What I like mainly about this one is the emotion.
Tells a story.
Yeah, it's a very good photo from the emotional point of view. I just enjoyed. I like this. This is just good. He's a lot better at this than he'll give himself credit for. Mike, yes, that's his new headshot for work. All right. Who's next?
George Nagata.
Oh, yeah. He said he was getting a haircut. I don't know if Adrian sent photos. I'm going to jump over here and take a quick look and see. Let me look.
Somebody sent one in late.
I don't know. He says that he doesn't know if his has went by already or not, but I'm looking to see if it's his name is Adrian.
No, I didn't done Adrian. We've done Gary Arbuckle, we've done John Van Veen, Mike Mitchum, Phil Thatch. We briefly touched on Heather's picture.
Yeah. They never made it, Adrian. Unfortunately, I don't have one for this week from you in my inbox. Yeah. I'm all the way back. I went all the way back to June 10th. There's nothing in here. Like a month ago. Oh, I showed them in the stream a long time ago. You're talking about yeah, I know what you're talking about now. Yeah, those already went, and I even made a video about them. I might even be coming out tomorrow. But you got a whole video about everything you sent me. But yeah, those photos you sent where there was like a burst of about a dozen or 15 of them in 3 emails, I've done used those a couple weeks ago, I think. Yeah. Yeah, I like George's photo. That's pretty cool. Who's next?
James Kaysen.
It's almost, you know what this reminded me of when I saw this? This guy checked into the stream last week, and he asked how he could submit photos and if we were doing them. Actually, 2 weeks ago, technically. And literally right after the stream, he sent this portrait in for his submission so that he could be in on it. And It looks like a Norman Rockwell photo to me.
I was going to say the same thing. It looks like Norman Rockwell.
Yeah.
Like you could actually throw this into Photoshop and kind of what is it? One of the filters kind of makes it look sketched or painted. It would
Yeah.
look like a Norman
Oil
Rockwell
painting or
picture.
canvas or whatever they call it. Yeah. I thought, man, that looks just like a Norman Rockwell painting. Everybody's saying the same thing. Yeah. I thought, man, that's a really good photo.
Kudos, man. Good stuff.
Who's next? Mad Magazine. That's another one. Yeah. Okay. This is Jacob Jurg. He sent 3, I think. And he says this is his niece and that he wanted to do a environmental portrait. So they went out in the forest behind his home and shot these in the forest. I think he's in Finland, if I remember right. It's one of those areas in Northern Europe.
Your sounds finished.
Yeah. What's the other one?
Right
One
there.
of them. There's one more.
Yeah.
There. Yeah. The first one was my favorite. I like that. I like how he's once again capturing the emotion. I kind of like that one. And he used 3 different lenses. He told me the lenses he used.
That's an old one. Look at the bokeh on it. You can see it. It's all soap bubbly.
It's got that circular bokeh.
Yeah, well, it's all bubbly.
Yeah. But look, if you back out of the frame, you can tell it. But he did say he used 3 lenses to shoot all 3 photos. It's 3 different lenses. Does it have it in EXIF data?
That was a 58 1.4.
Yeah, that's the Zeiss. I think
I don't know what this one is. This one has EXIF on it. Yeah, the other 2 don't have EXIF on.
Yeah, I don't remember for sure. One of them I think is a 56 millimeter f1.2 Fuji lens on an XH1. I think maybe. I would have to dig the email up to confirm it. But he sent 3 lenses, 3 portraits, 3 different lenses. Voigtlander. He said that was a Voigtlander 58.
Yeah, Jacob.
So Jacob is here.
Yeah, Jacob. Look at the getting lens tagger running.
And Jacob is from Holland.
Holland.
Not Finland. Sorry about that. Nikon 55 millimeter f1.2. And the other one was a Zeiss. Pull that other one up.
Which one?
Yeah, the very first one, I think, is the 50 millimeter f1.4 planar, isn't it?
58.
No, that's the Voigtlander then. Okay. That must be the planar because he said it had the swirly bokeh. They're all shot on the Nikon DF. You know, that's basically the XT3 made by Nikon. I kind of want one of those cameras just because it's very similar to the XT3.
Didn't it have like a D3 or D4 sensor in it or something like that?
It was a really nice machine. Full frame retro look Nikon. Yeah. Yeah, I think it did. It had a 20 megapixel sensor.
Oh, look at this person. I wonder who she is.
Yeah, I don't know. That's that guy who never passes up good window light. D4 sensor, Jacob commented and said.
Okay, it was the D4.
Yeah. Which is an amazing sensor. Its low light performance is uncanny. Yeah. We were shopping for Sierra an apartment, and the windows are north facing windows. And I looked and I was like, Teresa, come over here. Let me get your photo. So I literally used my iPhone and took this photo with it. Cuban Rum says, who is that model? That model's my wife, Teresa. She's a convenient model for me on lots of my photos.
She makes sure he's fed at very regular intervals.
Yes.
We'll pass back over Heather's portrait for Phil. So
All
he's
right.
heading that direction.
I like how she's lit him with off-camera light. It's pretty neat. Yeah.
Uh-oh, here we go. We got Joy's picture of
Yeah,
Gomez,
she told me his
the
name.
Gomez Nader.
Is that his name?
Yes, Gomez Nader.
Yeah. Isn't that awesome? The color's incredible.
Joey, what'd you shoot this on? Oh, that's right. It's probably going to take her about 10 seconds to actually hear that question.
Yeah.
Let's see. We'll
There.
go on to the next
Squirrel. Gary said squirrel.
Speaking of Cuban rum, here's Cuban rum's photo.
All right. This is the one that I was told to cull if I had to cull one. This camera was shot with the 56 1.2 and the XH1. He said that if he sent too many and I had to drop one, to drop this one, but I thought it was too good to leave out. I think it's a very good portrait. Now, Joy says she shot that on the Z50.
Oh, yeah. Oh, here's another one from Cuban. 850 that
Yeah.
came around 90.
Isn't that awesome? I love the color. It's so vibrant, you know.
It's my jammy, man.
Mm-hmm. What's the other one? I know he's got another one he sent.
He's got Barbie as a model.
Yeah, he said, since I couldn't line up a model, I went and bought one. That's what he said. I like how he done her hair. That's pretty good. You know, and a lot of people don't know this, but if you're wanting to practice lighting, a doll is a great subject for working on off-camera light. So you can figure out how to do rim light and you know, Rembrandt and you know, dramatic side angle lights, you know, where you do 50% from one side and 100 from the other and 5 in the back and all. You can do it all with a doll, and you don't have to even worry with paying a model or anything like that. You can just practice. A lot of people don't realize that you know, just to set something up to practice. Like for instance, the other night when Joy made that post about the National Camera Day, I was already set up with the flash. I was doing a thumbnail for a video, and I thought, hey, I was working on a review of that 55 millimeter f2.8 lens that is in that photo that I posted on Facebook. And I thought, I'll just see if I can hand hold the light and get an interesting light angle and have the back fall off into darkness. And I even took the case that's that Godox AD200 Pro light. Well, it comes in a little hard shell black case, and then the soft box comes in a soft case. They're both black mesh, whatever. So I opened up the lids and propped them up and made a black backdrop so that where it fell off in the blackness, I wouldn't have any light leaks on the back horizon, you know, spots of light to have to deal with. Then I just held the soft box where it kind of faced slightly forward and got that lighting like I was wanting. I could have been a little happier with it with a little more side light, but it looked pretty good. I was kind of happy with the way it turned out. With just playing handheld, I just fired probably 24 frames just holding that big soft box with my hand in different places to see what the effect would be. It was, you know, you can experiment for free. Did I lose you?
No, you didn't lose me. I was reading something.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
I was trying to make sure I was up to date on all the content.
Oh. Okay. Next week's challenge, Mike Mitchum emailed this idea to me, and I thought I really like this. Next week's challenge is texture. Something to do with texture. I like that idea a lot. So I thought I'm going to use it next week, or 2 weeks from today is when we'll do the stream. I think once again here I am pulling up the calendar to confirm it. Everybody's going to be in the country.
That's going to be the 14th.
Will it be that late? Yeah, it will, won't it? We will try.
We will try what?
The stream might be improvised.
Oh, no.
Might not be available here. So I'll have to look. I'm going to get with Teresa and see.
Yeah, give me
But,
a heads up. Who knows? We'll do it live from the woods or something.
All right. Yeah. We'll coordinate it. We'll figure it out. But
We'll get satellites talking to each other.
Slow scan TV.
No slow scan TV.
Oh. I'll get that in a minute. Heather and Phil won't be available for this one. They've got plans that they have to attend. We'll see what happens though. But yeah, texture is the next one. So submit your photos to Georgia Photographer. That's georgiaphotog@gmail.com. It'll be in the description. You can check any of my videos and it's in the description. So if it ain't in the live stream description, just open any one of my videos and click the description box and you'll find the email address. I put it in every one of them. And if you haven't done it yet, go over to Phil's channel and give him a like and subscribe and all that sort of stuff. Phil's really gotten heavy into the XT3 thing. So if y'all haven't noticed yet, since I think he bought Mike Mitchum's old XT3 because Mike upgraded to the XT4. He's already bought him a suite of lenses for it, and he's out shooting with it really regular. So he started, I think he jokingly called it XT3 Monday or Fuji Monday or something to that effect. So Mondays, he's got videos coming out that are centric around the XT3. I think he said kind of inadvertently. So like last Monday, he had the XT3 with the 100mm Tachyna macro. And so if you're interested in that kind of content, you need to check him out because he's doing good things over there. We had a photo walk the other day, and it was kind of funny because it was almost role reversal. We all show up to do our street photos. He's got the XT3. I've got the Z6, and Heather is shooting the Z50 instead of her D7100 she's been running. So it's like everybody just switched cameras. It's kind of funny. George says one day he'll know what it's like to use a Z50. George's Z50 come out of the box broken, and he had to immediately flip around and send it to Nikon to have them fix it.
What?
So yeah, that's kind of a drag. Why
would you have to send it back to Nikon if you received it broken? Why would it not go back to the retailer you purchased it?
Well, that's a good question for George to answer because that's what he's doing. He's sending it to Nikon to have them fix it. And his D500 died on him, so he had to send it off too. But he said he's got almost 100,000 actuations on his D500, so he's used it a lot.
But yeah, but it should go. I think the D500 was rated higher than 1,000 actuations, well, at least on the shutter.
Oh yeah, they're typically 350 or so.
Uh-oh. Watch out
that
behind
was Teresa passing through.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Something I'm noticing though, I mean, like last night when I was out, I'm getting like a lot of hot pixels on my LCD, not hot pixels on the sensor, but both on the D850. Because when I went out last night, I took the D850 and the Z6.
Mm-hmm.
Usually it's the D850 and the D500, and now I remember why I bought the D800, and I fell in love with the lights. When you're shooting in dark, it's the best thing in the world. So
yeah.
But I noticed after shooting all those long exposures and, keep on coming back and checking it, the LCDs weren't really on, but I started noticing I'm getting a lot of red dots on my LCDs when they've been used for a while. And I looked back in the photos. I didn't see any hot pixels in the photos, so I'm probably going to run through. But I'm starting to think, Nikon is really wish they would put some quality, a little bit better quality into LCD.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not seeing them yet. Which the LCD on the D810 is pretty pathetic. It's it's a tiny little screen, and you just barely can see anything on it. When you zoom in, it's still kind of grainy. You know, it it just ain't that great a screen. I've never have really used it much for reviewing photos, just because of that. But I do have a couple of hot pixels on the sensor. They're white. They're little white spots. When you go in, if you zoom way in, you'll find just one or two. Because I was looking for dust specks one day, and I had zoomed in. I was dragging across the frame, and this white dot went across a blue sky frame. And I backed up, and it was one little pixel had done went
Yeah,
hot on me.
if it's white, it
But
might be stuck. If you go through the cleaning procedure, there's
mhm.
a way you can go through in the menu and do it like twice, and it sometimes it'll unstick it or it'll remap around it.
Yeah, it's like I haven't done that yet, but it was, it's something what 13 nanometers wide. It's when you zoom out and look at the image, even at full size on my 27-inch monitor, you can't see it. You know, 1 pixel. I didn't even know it until the day I was looking for dust particles. It's the only reason I even saw it at all. You know.
Well, I got to give a shout out to my buddy Viltry. He has popped in here. He is out. He lives out near Zurich, Switzerland. Uh,
Oh wow.
yeah, you need to Viltry. You need to next time you go up, we need to get some stills out of the glider. He's learning how to fly a glider. So occasionally he'll do
Oh.
YouTube videos, or not you. Well, he'll do like GoPro videos while he's up there. The guy, he's like, yeah, I'm gonna learn how to fly a glider, and he's out there gliding around the Alps. You,
It's like super picturesque
yeah, I'm like,
landscape.
yeah, he's gonna have to start doing some like stills from up there.
Yeah.
Next time he does something, I'll share it with the group.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, you want to watch somebody go fly a glider around the Alps in Switzerland? Here, watch this.
Yeah. That'd be yeah. I'd like to go ride in a glider around the Alps in Switzerland.
Hey, I know a guy.
Yeah, no kidding. That'd be cool. Dude, everything about that's awesome. Hey, we got around pretty early today. It's only 6:30. What'd
What?
we do different? We
I
went,
I
that
know
was 30 something photos, I think. It was a bunch of photos.
it was 30 photos.
Was it?
Let count. 21 photos.
Oh, okay. Thought there was more than that.
I mean, we can go through
My
them again
bad.
if you want.
Nah, it's fine. We've. I just don't want to hold people unnecessarily, but
What, you
yeah,
think you're holding them
it's
here
interesting.
against their will?
Kinda.
Okay.
Hey, I do have something else to talk about. I got a video coming out tomorrow. I think it's in that one. I did two at once, and it's in one of those two. So if it ain't this one, it's coming soon. Be looking for one of the Cameras and Coffees vlog videos. And this, if you notice in the chats, there's a person in here posting that ADVR is his screen name. His first name's Adrian. He sent me an email or six or so. We've chatted a good bit in email. That's why I know I can say his name. He said it was okay. Um, he's he's actually embracing what I say at the end of all of my videos, literally. And it's get your camera out and go take a picture with it. And it's real inspiration. When you see the video, you'll understand. He sent me a bunch of photos, and I have built them into the video so that you can kind of see what I'm talking about. Is he lives in Mexico, and he's capturing everyday life of a college student in Mexico. And it's interesting just to be able to see into that world, because I'm not going to ever be able to see into that part of the world. So it's kind of special to me that he shared that with me. So if you get a chance, watch the videos and see, and you'll see what I'm talking about. I really appreciate him checking into the vlog or the live stream and sending me all that as well. It was really interesting for him to share that with me. I wanted to thank him for that too. So yeah, if you guys have any questions for me, by all means, shoot me an email, comment in this, anything. I'm here to, I'll do the best I can to answer your question. I have gotten kind of used to using the Z6 now. Just gonna wander into this a little bit. I've been an XT3 guy for about a year, pretty hard. Ever since I got the XT3, I've really enjoyed the whole ergonomics of it. And as of late, I started really using the Z6 for the same thing. And the one thing that the Z6 doesn't really do that the XT3 does is map all three major controls to the outside easily. They're there and you can control them manually, but the ISO is natively mapped to a button. You press a button on the Z6 and scroll the back thumb wheel to change ISO. You could probably remap it to the front command wheel, and you could have it there and set, shutter speed to the back and run aperture on the lens on a vintage lens. That's what I mean, because I shoot a lot of vintage glass, as y'all know, and that's the one thing that I don't really like about it, that it doesn't do that the XT3 really does. And I'll just tell you the truth, I like that side flipping screen on the XT3. I do a lot of really low angle looking up photos, and I like that screen being able to flip out so that I can compose it without having to lay down on the ground. That one thing has impeded me more with the Z6 than anything. The ISO thing, I can you get used to it, but man, like I want to compose photos of like objects down at the ground level and shoot a wide angle lens and get you that perspective of it moving away and shoot up from the ground, and it's just really difficult to compose short of just laying down on the ground.
Check that out on my Z6. Can't flip the LCD up. Is that what you're talking
No, it
about,
won't.
Dave?
No, because I'm shooting in portrait configuration. I'm holding the side of the camera against the ground. Yeah, and on the XT3, you can flip it out to the side and you can make that composition without having to lay down on the ground. Man, that's convenient. You don't realize how convenient of a feature it is till you don't have it. It's kind of surprising.
Have a good night, Jacob.
Jacob gone. So long, and thanks for the fish. I hope you have your towel, because the Vogons won't appreciate it if you show up without your towel. They've done wandered into the Hitchhiker's Guide from the Galaxy world over here.
Beltry tried to throw Monty Python wrench in there, but I said it wasn't going to work.
Yeah.
Run away, run away.
Yeah. 'Tis but a scratch. Guys, you gone too, RD? We'll see you later. Thank you for coming to the stream. Texture, guys, don't forget, that's the new one, texture. Great poetry, though. Yeah. Cuban Rum asked a good question. He says, not all. Good night, Joy. Thank you for coming. He says, have I used Snap Bridge to control the camera? What? I'm sorry.
Oh, I was saying good night to Joy. No, I'm sorry, doubled with you. What'd you say?
As Cuban Rum is asking me if I've ever used Snap Bridge to drive the Z6. And yes, I have, but I haven't thought to do it from low angle. You make a good point. I'll give that a shot and see how cumbersome that makes it to drive the camera with the smartphone. Being able to see the screen, and you got the shutter button there, so it shouldn't be too awful bad. I'm going to give that a shot. You got a good point. That may just do what I want to do.
Hi.
Hey, the camera's there.
Oh, no.
You have to squat down for it to show on screen.
Hello.
Yeah.
What's up, kiddo?
There's a bunch of people.
There are.
Say hi, everybody. Hi. Here. Well, they done wandered off. But Cuban Rum says, view the image instead of the floppy screen. It ain't floppy on the Z6. It don't move at all in the direction I want it to.
Gary, I'm just south of Indy a little bit in Monrovia, kind of close to Mooresville.
Every time you say Monrovia, it makes me think of Liberia because that's the capital of Liberia.
Was Monrovia Liberia? Oh, all right. Well,
Yeah.
Every time you like search for Monrovia, it always gets confused with Monrovia, California. But then, like,
Interesting.
But if you try to do, you can actually do searches for like Mooresville, Indiana, which is technically where I'm at.
Mm-hmm.
And it just the internet confuses it with Mooresville, North Carolina.
It's like Trenton, Georgia. When you say Trenton, most people think New Jersey. Yeah. And I was surprised. I always thought Chattanooga was a unique name. And that Chattanooga, Tennessee was the only one. There's a bunch of Chattanoogas. There's like 3 or 4 of them. Yeah. Like one's in like Kansas or something. It's like, it blew my mind. I was like, I thought that Chattanooga, Tennessee was literally the only one. But there's several.
You can travel all over the world in Indiana. Never leave the state. You can go to Paris, Indiana, I think. There's a Brazil, Indiana. There's a Peru, Indiana. There's a whole bunch of other weird little places, like Newcastle, Indiana.
We have a Cairo, Georgia.
I've been through Cairo, I believe.
Yeah. There's Rome, Georgia. Cairo, Georgia. Yeah. It's like they just hijacked the names from Europe and the Mediterranean and just used them over. Gary Alberco says he's been there. People think I came from Ohio. That's true.
Oh, French Lick.
French Lick. Yeah. I remember that.
I'm telling you, if you ever in southern Indiana, go to that hotel down there in French Lick. It is amazing. They've got like a casino, but the hotel is, I mean, it's worth just to go in there and walk around it and look at some history.
Yeah. Phil's currently in Cleveland, Tennessee.
Well, if it's in Tennessee, it's got to be better than Ohio.
Gary says he's in Monticello, Houston, Georgia, though it's pronounced Houston. I didn't know that. Huh. I know there's an Athens, Georgia. That's where University of Georgia's at. There's a bunch of those names that are used over. And it's surprising when you look up some of these town names to find out that they're originally from like England. There's a lot of townships and little communities in England that the names for these little towns has wandered over with them.
You know what's like if you look at like a lot of the names down there in Florida, a lot of the names are actually from the Greek immigrants that came down there, like Titusville. Yeah. Titusville, yeah. It's those coastal towns. They got they've got a lot of Greek names.
Naples. Yeah.
Naples, yeah.
It never occurred to me because, the Spaniards settled Florida to start with. And then when they lost the war, they gave Florida to the English. But there was already a big Spanish contingent. There was already stuff named after them, and like St. Augustine was a Spanish settlement.
St. Augustine's the oldest settled city in the United States.
Yeah.
It was like
Ponce de Leon went there hunting. Ponce de Leon hunted the Fountain of Youth there.
My cousin lives in Waxahachie.
Waxahachie.
Texas, Waxahachie. That's an Indian name right there.
Yeah, there's the cough, cough, go dogs, cough, cough. Yeah, Phil will be replying to that pretty soon. Hello, Blue Newt. Thank you for checking into the stream. Oh, Mike Mitchum is ganging up. I guarantee you Phil will be back in a minute.
If you want to talk about some crazy names, like growing up down there in Florida, like we had the Itchmatuckney River, you had the Withlacoochee River, you had the Econ. The river I used to go swimming in as a kid was the Econlockahachie River, which was
they're all Indian names. It's like Georgia River names: the Chattahoochee, the Chattooga,
Swanee,
the Swanee. The Okefenokee
Kissimmee River?
Swamp is what now?
Kissimmee, as everybody,
Yeah,
like people not from Florida, call it Kissimmee.
yeah.
I even think Apopka is an Indian name. Could be wrong on that.
Seems like all the waterways around here are named probably the names the Indians had given them, and we just used it.
That was their interstates.
Yeah. There's a Gun Barrel, Texas. There's a Rifle, Colorado. I want to go to Rifle, Colorado, just so I can say I've been there and make my name next to the sign.
There's a Metropolis in Illinois, and they've got a statue of Superman.
Yeah. Somebody, was it me and you was going to talk about to go there and get our photo with the Superman statue?
I don't know.
Somebody was kicking that idea around recently, like just doing a weekend road trip to Metropolis. Isn't it in southern Illinois, down in the bottom corner?
I don't know.
I want to say it is. And yeah, they have a big lethargy. Is there really a Silencer, Georgia?
Oh, somebody need to move their shop.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to Google that. I may have to put a second operation in that town.
Yeah, it is. Wait, you know what? It's down there, right there near where we were talking about to go take that sunset picture at. Yeah, it's not far from Land Between the Lakes.
Okay.
It's just up the river from Paducah, Kentucky, a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, Phil's joking. He says, "It's your shop, doofus." Oh. Oh, you guys are awesome.
So we have gone from photography to geography tonight.
That's true.
But you know,
and to circle back, there's a KEH photo in Atlanta. There's B&H in New York. Adorama, I think, is in New York. There's Y&N camera in Indiana.
Huh? Yeah, Roberts is in Indiana.
Yeah. Y&N. That's where I bought my XT3. Didn't you give me their information?
Yeah, they're at what, Pennsylvania or Ohio? I can't remember.
Maybe they're in Ohio. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember, but yeah, I met that guy on one of the 850 groups.
Yeah, real good guy to work with. He done me a deal. I've told a couple people that he was going to sell me. I bought the XT3 and it came with a battery, and I bought the battery grip, but the battery grip didn't come with batteries. You have to buy extra batteries, and he was going to sell me these aftermarket brand batteries that worked. He said they had performed very well, but he only had one. He said, since I had already placed the order, he threw in a legit Fujinon battery in place of the aftermarket one just to fill the order, since I was ordering the whole kit from him. He did me right.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, if you've got any camera needs, Y&N's awesome. They're on Facebook. They're constantly posting. They just got XT4s in. I seen the post go by the other day. So, yeah, if you're looking for an XT4, they've got one.
And don't forget about Castle Camera in Morristown, Tennessee.
Yeah, no kidding. That place is awesome. If you want vintage camera gear, Castle Camera was awesome. Hopefully they're still there. We made up this fall. We got to go and see. Yeah. We'll have to do a legit vlog from inside the store this time, because I tried to video it last time and got all my footage was jacked. I got a little bit, but the sun was messing up my lens. Roberts in Indiana is used camera gear mecca. Yeah,
it is. It's pretty awesome to go in there, and then like once or twice a year they'll have what they call a garage sale, and it's crazy because it'll be indoors and there'll be like boxes of filters, and you know, I told Dave, I'm like, hey, Roberts is having their garage sale. Do you need any? And oh no. I mean, you go in there, and it's like, Dave, you ever been to Skycraft down in Orlando?
No, I have not.
Okay, well, that's something. Next time you go down to Central Florida, go to Skycraft, because it's like, yeah, it's hard to explain. But anyways, you go in there and it's just like the most awesome free for all, you know, camera flea market you'd ever think of.
Interesting. Yeah, I'm interested to see it now. Phil made a point. You guys, a week from Thursday, July the 9th, he's having his live stream. Starts at 6 p.m. on his channel, and his photo challenge is bokeh. I've done got my photo, by the way. and I even leaked it to Phil a little bit and showed it to him already. But it's use bokeh in a creative way, I believe is how he worded it. Is don't just blow out the background, but make it somehow part of the image deliberately, to where that's the focus. Is what he's saying is bokeh. Yeah, I'm
I'm gonna
pretty
get
sure
out there
that's
and
it.
I'm gonna get a bouquet of flowers.
Yeah, a bouquet of flowers. I wonder if that's where that came from.
I don't know. Let's not go down that rabbit hole. Bouquet.
You don't want to start that.
Oh, now you'll cause the space time continuum to implode onto itself when you start that conversation.
We'll go backwards in time. Gary Arbuckle's been to that garage sale day. He says it's insane.
It is. It's amazing. Like if you're into photography, and somewhere they had another one, and it's like what I told you. You should probably get. If you guys got some like local camera clubs, I mean, you need to like start getting back to having like almost like a ham fest for cameras.
Yeah, didn't they used to do that?
Well,
Wasn't
I
that
mean,
a
they're getting smaller and smaller, but there are some, there's some camera swap meets that go on. I haven't found one to go to yet, other than what
then Roberts.
what Roberts has, and all Roberts has is just like gear they don't really feel like selling online.
Yeah. Interesting. That's a good point. That some club somewhere should start hosting one. See how it goes. That way, if you could find, you find a place to where you don't have a lot of overhead for the first year or two, so that you can afford the space. Maybe meet in a garage. I'm just throwing stuff out there. We could clear out a space in the front of this building, but there's not a lot of room. It'd get cluttered in a hurry. Plus, you get metal chips in your hands when you started handling the milling machines.
Don't use any of the rags in there to clean.
Oh, well, that would not help.
Not unless you're intending to get interesting artifacts on your lens.
Gary got the tour of the back room. He says it was an amazing place. Oh, we got to do that. We got to line that crap up, dude. I guess I'm coming to Indiana in the not too distant future. We'll have to do a vlog or a live stream or something from Roberts. Maybe we could set up a live stream at Robert's camera. That'd be cool, wouldn't it?
Probably be able to get into the internet. I don't know. If not, I got an office building accessible to me a couple blocks away from there.
Are they in where they have high speed cell service internet?
No, I was just saying I have access to office space a couple blocks away from Roberts. If you want to go do live stream from Indianapolis.
Oh, I was going to do it from the lobby or the showroom of Robert's camera.
Possible. I don't know. They might let you jump on the Wi-Fi.
Yeah, Garrett. Well, I mean, if you've got LTE on your phone, you can stream with the phone. I've done it now that I've got enough subscribers that let me stream.
Aren't you on Verizon?
No, I'm on AT&T.
Oh, then it probably won't work.
Probably not.
From experience, it probably won't work.
There's some truth in that. Oh,
like when the power goes out here out near. I mean, I've already got horrible AT. But when the power goes out, the tower goes out too. It's like they don't have a backup generator for the radio towers. Yeah, so you lose, like when the power goes out, you lose all your cell service.
Wow.
And then our phone company pulled up everything off of copper, so nobody out here has copper landlines anymore. Everybody's on fiber.
Really?
Yeah.
There's no regular telephone wires anymore.
Nope. They told us, they're like, you have to switch over to fiber or you'll lose your phone service.
Wow.
The only cable out here is the electrical and Comcast, which Comcast only has like basic cable.
That's interesting.
But they
See,
buried their cable out here too. So only
yeah, well,
cables
the
up in the
tornadoes kind of make it necessary. Oh, yeah. Heather made a good point. If you haven't done it yet, reach in there and click the like button on the stream for me. I'd appreciate that. It helps. Somehow it matters. There's some kind of metric that the computer program at YouTube looks at. It makes a difference. But I appreciate Heather for reminding it. It's a big help. But yeah,
like and subscribe.
if you get the opportunity to check in on Phil's stream, it'll be a week from this Thursday on July the 9th. And he starts his streams at 6 p.m. over on his channel. And it's him and Heather, and they have a duet, and it's gotten really interesting. I kind of like the way he does them with them two there together in the room. She drives the computer in the background, and he talks to the camera, and it works really well. So yeah, and if you haven't went over to Phil's channel and subscribed yet, you probably ought to do that, because most of the people in this stream like the kind of photography that he enjoys, and he's a riot. If you ever get to shoot photos with him in real life, you should do it. It's worth it. He's hilarious. It just makes your day. If you've watched any of our collab videos where I'm doing the video, just look over my shoulder. It's like that all the time. It's a barrel of monkeys. It's well worth your time. He makes it very entertaining. Plus, he knows stuff about Chattanooga that I don't know. So we kind of complement one another. And Heather knows stuff that neither one of us know. So it actually works really well when we all get together, because he knows stuff about like local band gigs and things like that I had no idea. And I know stuff about geography that he doesn't know. It's kind of interesting when we all get together. The synergy is greater than the sum of its parts kind of deal. It's kind of neat. But yeah, so I appreciate you guys watching. Gary's getting off too. Cool. Yeah, shoot me an email. The like fairies. Yes. And just joined in. I was photographing a lighthouse in Matthews, Virginia. We're signing off, Woody. I'm sorry. Stop in Chicago. Woo. And if you guys haven't done it yet, I'd appreciate to subscribe as well. But we'll be back on the stream 2 weeks, which is July 14th. Wasn't it? Wasn't it the 14th?
14th.
If everything works out, we'll do our best to be back. If not, we'll figure out something, and I'll let you guys know on the channel. But as of right now, we'll be doing a stream on the 14th if all goes according to plan. And the challenge is texture. So with that, this is David, the Georgia photographer, and I really appreciate you guys coming along for the ride. And until next time, get your camera out and go take a picture with it. All right. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.